Hey everyone, it's Brian here at Red Leaf Ranch, and I am loving this sweater weather right now. This is really my preferred state, just nice, long, comfy sweaters, so I feel like I'm being hugged at all times. But really, it's actually gonna get quite cold tonight, and I finally have some downtime after spending the last few days making so many candles. Which is such a blessing in itself. First, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting the candles and just really helping us grow and allowing us to have this like beautiful sense of independence that I've honestly never had in my life. So I'm really grateful to all of you. But I actually want to take a look around the garden because it's going to be cold tonight and see if everything's ready for the potential frost we might have. Or if it's time to just harvest some things early so that it doesn't get damaged by the frost. So let's take a look around. Seriously guys, this time of year is just magic. The cooler weather, the way the light changes, there's just a beautiful autumn glow. And I love how it lights up the garden. In the center bed actually, I was gonna do cover crop, but I mean, the chickens ate up a lot of the seeds. And they got to it before I put this burlap down. There are a few things growing up through it, and the chickens haven't been bugging them, but they got to most of the seeds. So meanwhile, Dominic and I felt inspired to plant pansies around the border, just to give it a nice pop of color and liven up the central aisle here. Over here is where we had our pumpkin, and sadly, it ended up dying. Definitely just planted it way too late in the season, and it just couldn't get the, I guess, the right footing to really take off and produce female flowers to fruit. So it ended up dying, and I just ripped it out and threw it in the compost, which is fine. It doesn't go to waste, you know. It's great that the compost are able to just literally recycle everything and bring it back to the earth. Over here we have our growing herb garden. This mint is really taking over. I should probably cut it back actually. Oh, hi Chloe. How you doing, baby? Hi, sweetheart. Oh, look at you. Oh my gosh, hi. Hey. Yeah, you like the sweater too? I know, it's a good sweater. I know. Now we had this ornamental kale here. And I didn't expect the chickens to like it so much, but they literally ravaged it. Pecked to oblivion. Yeah, I'm not really sure what we're gonna do about the chickens at this point. It was cute at first, having them play around in the garden, but now they're just starting to peck everything to death, and we want to make it cute, you know? Dominic's been getting really frustrated because they're digging around the perennial bed, and he's just not having it. So we're gonna figure out a way of installing a much taller and sturdier fence around the garden to keep these chickens out, because it'll also save my back from having to bend over all these fenced in areas, because it's really hard to actually get in there and work. But we need them up to prevent the chickens from going up in there. So we shall see what happens. The clary sage that I transplanted is actually picking up speed and growing so well. It really didn't even skip a beat. It looks wonderful. So excited to have this for the kitchen. Oh my gosh, it smells so divine. Over here we have our Swiss chard, which got ravaged by the chickens too. But they're actually making quite a comeback. Very nice to see, and now that they're fenced in, I'm really hopeful that they'll be able to actually grow fully. Over here we have our wild, tangled jungle of tomatoes, and I actually think I'm gonna go through and pluck some of them. There's some that are actually still green, or a lot of them are actually very green, but I actually want to pluck them and have them ripen inside, because it is gonna get quite cold tonight, and I don't want to risk them getting damaged. Some of them are starting to ripen though. It really did help to clear up those little suckers and starts I went through today and just plucked even more of them. I did notice a significant change in the ripening of their fruits. I feel like they really picked up speed after that, which makes sense because you're taking you know, those energy sucking suckers, and they're able to redirect their energy into really producing the fruit. So I'm actually gonna go through and harvest some of these. I'm ideally looking for fruit that's already quite big. Like this looks really good. It's starting to darken in color. So it's actually almost ripe. I think it'll be able to finish ripening inside. So let's just cut her off. All right, here we go. Still a lot of very green tomatoes, but I would really rather salvage them like this and have them ripen inside, hopefully ripen fully inside, than just lose them to frost. If you guys have any tips on ripening them appropriately inside, please let me know. I'm really just doing this as like a Hail Mary to hopefully get some good tomatoes. Next year, I really need to figure out why it took my tomatoes so long to ripen. Like, some of these fruits have been on the vine for months and they're barely starting to ripen, and I just don't know why. So any tips would be greatly appreciated. Excuse me, get out the potatoes, excuse me. Jesus, y'all just perch everywhere. Over here, the cover crop in this little plot where I'm mending has really blossomed beautifully. This is a nice little place for the chickens to ravage, and I don't mind. All this is just gonna die off when frost hits anyways, and act as a really nice layer of green mulch. So beautiful. You can see a lot of the buckwheat. We have tiller turnips in there, peas, some oats, and mustard as well. It's looking beautiful. Very excited to see how this plays out for the next season. I hopefully think next year we'll be able to get digging right into the soil. Over here we have our brassicas doing beautifully. Oh, I'm so happy with how they're performing. This is some broccoli here, looking absolutely gorgeous. And I love this cooler light that we get because it really makes the vibrant blues in the brassicas pop. They're just beautiful. Oh, I think we have our first flower head. Hey, broccoli. What's poppin', girl? Very excited to eat you. And I'm actually really curious to see how they perform as the weather gets significantly cooler. It was different in the spring because it got hotter. So I'm wondering what will happen. We also have our beans growing alongside, and they're doing really well also. Very surprised. I thought they would not do so good in the cooler temps, but they're actually starting to climb the trellis. A little late, but at least I get to live out some of my pole bean fantasy. Look at all the beans. They're doing so well. And we actually have a lot of pods. So exciting. Here we have some 1,000-head kale. Getting really nice and big. I noticed when it got really hot, they would start wilting over a lot. And this one's actually feels kind of weak. I had to stake it and make sure it was not falling over so much. So we'll see how she does as the weather gets cooler. Oh, we got some dogs acting out over there. Marigold's still going so strong. And I'm so grateful. They add such beautiful, beautiful vibrance to the garden. Wow. Here we have some blue kale growing. Again, getting some really amazing color in this cooler light. Love it. Over here, we seem to be getting some mixed reviews about this bed from these brassicas. We have a line of red cabbage here growing kind of slow. This broccoli's growing kind of slow too, taking its sweet time. Then we have this Chinese broccoli that's just like exploded. It's massive. Such interesting leaves. They're not as wavy as normal broccoli. So interesting to see like the different rates that each one of them grow in. Still hopeful. I definitely think we'll still get some good veggies out of them. In this bed, we have some beets growing so strong. These are some bull's blood beets. Super, super red beet. And I actually need to get in here and thin these out. Now that these smaller ones are getting bigger. Usually when thinning out, you want to look for anything that's like kind of on top of each other, like this little cluster here. I'm just gonna pluck out like what's in between. You can kind of see it here. Boop. And I'll actually probably replant this so that to see how it grows in a different little spot here. But we're gonna see. It'll take some work to get through all this. I did thin out some of the bull's blood beet earlier. And this is the only transplant that made it. So I actually don't think I'll transplant them. Thinking about this now, because it's not very likely they'll survive. So once they're thinned out, they're gone for good. Oh man, but the carrots. Y'all, these carrots is popping. Definitely learned my lesson from growing them last time. I was sure to thin them out and also give them very loose and deep soil. You could just see how happy these carrots are. They're so lush. Woo, I'm so excited. And next to it, we have this beautiful Mizuna. A delicious leafy green with a nice purple stem. I actually tried it earlier this week for the first time. I feel like it's definitely ready to start eating. And it actually has a very similar taste to arugula. Has that earthiness, and it definitely has that pepperiness that arugula has as well. I'm actually gonna try some now. Y'all, for real, this Mizuna, ooh, it is incredible. The more I eat it, the more addicted I get to it. It's just such a savory almost. It is so tasty. I can definitely see a lot of fun ways to incorporate that into some meals. And especially like salads. It would really add a beautiful like smoky element, or finishing off a sandwich or a burger. Oh my God, it would add such a beautiful touch. Would highly recommend. It's really easy growing, and actually seems to be doing better now that it's getting cooler. And it's really beautiful too. Over here we have our Brussels sprouts, and they're really starting to take shape now. I'm so excited to see when they actually grow in. They're such a funny looking plant. Oh, uh-oh. Hold up, y'all, I see something. You see those little spots? I don't know what they mean, but there's like little spots, little droppings. That's a sign that there's some cabbage worm. Where are you? Oh, it's like right there. I don't know if you can see, but it blends in so well. Y'all see that? Right there. Ah, sneaky. But y'all gotta go. But that's the only one. It's getting cold, but these cabbage worms are really hanging on. Gonna feed it to the chickens. Over here we have our eggplant, and I'm really surprised by the eggplant. I did not expect it to do this well for so long. It actually produced a new flush of flowers, and it's producing some more fruit. I think you can see one hanging back there. That's an Ichiban eggplant. Here we have a Black Beauty eggplant, I believe. I think that's what it is, right? Yep, Black Beauty. Awesome. And we only got one fruit out of it, and I'm hanging on to it for dear life. Oh, it's so pretty. It's got a few spots, that's fine. Really, anything is a great reward at this point. Oh, but it is giving off another flower. Now, I might actually take the flower off. Careful. I don't know if you know, but the flower heads of eggplants actually grow thorns. So be careful. These are still small and not too developed, so they're not prickly, but that definitely has some thorns on it. I pricked myself many a time on eggplants. But still, yeah, super excited and super surprised by eggplant. Oh Lord, now we have our garlic. I'm actually so surprised. It's starting to sprout already. As you can see, I had to put these metal grates on top of it because the chickens just love scratching up in here. And I didn't have enough fencing to make around the bed. So we definitely need to figure something out, because how does garlic about to last 9 months with these crazy chickens? I can't leave the grate on forever. It's not aesthetically pleasing, and I needed them for other things. But we'll figure it out. I'm just so happy we got some garlic in the ground. And just so shocked that it's growing already. Is this supposed to do that? I thought it was going to take a lot longer than that. Who knows? Our gorgeous asparagus is still going strong. It literally looks like mist in the light. Wow, that is so pretty. Do y'all see that light though? My God. This lighting is gorgeous. Wow. Whew. God is good, y'all. God is good. Oh, I'm really excited. Planted a lot of fun new herbs. Here we have some Roman chamomile. Very excited to see how it does. It's already latched into the soil here. I feel like it's just gonna like spill over and give a really beautiful effect to this container, while the rosemary just grows up in the back. In this herb bed, let's see. I moved around some of the other herbs we had in here. I took out a few things. This is some lemon thyme. I love lemon thyme. It's so yummy. Oh, it smells so good. Planted some purple sage, some regular sage. And Dom does have some lavender in the perennial beds, but I'm super excited because I have my own lavender now. And it's such a pretty variety. I think this is the Provence variety. Oh my God, it already smells so good. I can't wait for this to flower next year. I think it'll do really nice here. And again, I really enjoy having an herb garden next to the chicken coop, because a lot of these herbs omit scents that a lot of pests and little rodents actually don't like. So it's really nice, a nice way to deter them from the chicken coop. Oh, how random. Someone just plopped an egg. This has happened a few times. I'm just walking around and I see an egg lying on the floor. Whose egg is that? Let's actually take a look inside, see if there's any eggs. Hey, Lucinda. Oh, caught you plotting. See how we're doing in here. Ooh, that's a good old flush of eggs. Thanks, ladies. Oh my goodness. I'm actually not gonna pluck them until I get some gloves on. Cause you know, that came out of a chicken's butthole. So they might not be the cleanest. But 4 eggs in here. I definitely know they're hiding eggs somewhere. Like, all of you are laying. I know it wasn't just 4 of you that laid in here. Now is actually time to get the coop ready for winter. Need to give it a nice deep clean. And I actually think, rather than clean out that that layer of pine shavings over there, I'm just gonna add another layer on top. It'll create a really nice microbiome under the pine, I think, and it'll deter insects from going in there, because the microorganisms will keep them at bay. And it'll act as really good insulation for the winter time. And when spring comes, it'll be a really great boost to the compost when it's time to clear all that out. But back to these eggs. I know they're hiding their eggs somewhere. And I will find them. I'm watching you. Wow. I don't know, there's something about those autumn sunsets that just hit so different. So different. It's moments like this where I'm just overwhelmed with just how beautiful Mother Nature is and our planet is, and how vital it is that we reconnect with her Because look at what we can do if we work in harmony with nature rather than destroy her and take everything for our own gain. It's definitely possible for us to live together in harmony. We just have to be willing to try. The deeper that I get into all of this gardening and homesteading and really working with the land and nature, you know, the more inspired I am to really dive even deeper, take it even further. I got really emotional this week, just thinking about like the craziness in the world, you know, socially, politically, environmentally, and really like how we have to, as hard as it is, we have to be conscious, we have to be aware, and we have to act. We really have to do what we can within all our power to make sure that we're making positive changes in the world. Not for us. There's so much that we have to deal with already. But what really got to me was the children, the kids, the future. You know, everything that we're fighting for right now, none of it will matter if there's no planet, if there's nowhere to live for our children to enjoy them. And that really sparked something in me to really make this the greatest priority in my life, to inspire people to reconnect with nature, to motivate them to reconnect with nature, to teach people how to reconnect with nature. I really have a dream that one day I'll be able to bring people here to teach them everything that I'm learning, you know, and just give them a place to nurture that curiosity for Mother Nature. Because I feel like that calling is within all of us. And it's really just up to us whether we choose to listen or not. You know, it's been over a year now since I moved away from this city, and I've learned so much about myself, about what we need as humans, what we really, truly crave, and how important it is that we do this work, that we find a way to incorporate nature into our lives, because she is calling to us. It has taught me so much about patience with myself, with people, because like these plants, everyone grows and blossoms in their own time. You can't rush these things, especially if people aren't willing or ready to make those changes. All you can do is water them from a distance. Just a year since I moved away from the city, and it already feels like a lifetime. And now I really can't imagine my life without gardening or nature surrounding me. And I'm just super grateful. And I'm so grateful that I'm even able to share it all with you, that the internet even exists right now to be able to share this with so many different people, not just in the country, but around the world. And it's just a beautiful testament that, you know, the one thing that so many of us are ignoring, nature, is the one thing that could bring the world together when it needs us the most. There's a calling, guys, and I just want you all to listen, because Mother Nature needs us to listen. The children need us to listen. All differences aside, none of that matters if there's not a planet to live on. And if we can't do it together. Oh my God. Whew. It's been an emotional time, y'all. But I just want to give my love and my thanks to all of you. Thank you all so much for watching, for supporting, for rooting for us. It really means the world, and it makes me feel like I am on the right path. Because there's so many of you looking up to me to do this. And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep fighting, because it's so much bigger than me. It's for all of you It's for the world. It's for Mother Nature. It's for Source, Spirit, all of it. So with that, I'm gonna leave y'all here. Thank you so much. I love you all. Take care.